A hard-working single mother who lived her life for her son.
And Braden was everything to her.
All she ever wanted was to be happy and, have a happy little family.
Suddenly, she disappears without a trace.
A mother and a son not seen for 2 days. It was definitely a red flag for us.
Something wasn't right. I knew it then.
And later, she thought she had missed her chance at finding love.
She felt really hard for him and trusted him. And therefore, our family did as well.
They had no idea who they were dealing with. They had no idea how dangerous he really is.
911 emergency.
There's blood everywhere. My sister's not moving.
Hi, I'm John Walsh, and this is In Pursuit. We begin tonight with a story of Angela Cannon, a devoted mother who raised 4 kids in Camden, Arkansas. Nothing came easy in that tiny rural town. A good job was hard to find. But Angela and her husband provided the best they could, and her family thrived, counting on each other to get through the tough times. Eventually, her kids began to start their own families, and Angela embraced a whole new role, grandmother, until one horrific night when it was all stripped away.
Camden is not a big town. It's a lot of fields and farms. Not a whole lot of people. It's a nice place to raise a family. I'd always wanted children, and I wanted 3 or 4, and that's what I had. Ryan, Alyssa, Christian, and Mason. Well, Alyssa was the only girl, so she thought she was the boss. But she held her own, even having 3 brothers.
When Alyssa was turning 16, she found out she was pregnant with Braden. And once she had him, we took care of him together.
And Braden was everything to her. On June 22nd, 2019, we decided to cook outside on the grill. It was sunny outside and it was pretty warm. It was a normal weekend thing.
In addition to Ryan and Alyssa, Alyssa's fiancé, 23-year-old Jory Worthen, came to the barbecue that afternoon.
She met Jory when Braden was about 2 or 3. Jory would always play with Braden and, try to make him laugh. Alyssa thought Jory was her knight in shining armor, really.
As I got ready to leave, Alyssa told me that she was bringing Braden to me the next day to keep him while her and Jory went to the movies and to eat. It was a normal day, and I had no idea anything was going to happen or that anything would change at all. Sunday, I got up and was looking forward to Braden coming. Spent most of the day just waiting on Alyssa, and it got around 5. They hadn't showed up or called or anything, so I texted her, "Are you bringing Braden?" And she said, "No, we went to Texarkana and took Braden with us, and Jory's dad come too."
Alyssa also told her mother that Jory's father had picked them up. They would most likely spend the night in Texarkana.
I didn't think anything of it at all.
But the next morning, there's no sign of Alyssa.
On Monday, I texted Alyssa to see what time they would be back. She said that they were getting ready and headed home because she had to work. She had to be there at 4 that evening. Later in the afternoon, I texted to see if they were back, and my message would, they stopped delivering, and her phone would go to voicemail. So I called Jory's phone, and his was going to voicemail. Alyssa didn't get back in time to be at work or bring Braden to me or anything, and that's when I started to think something was wrong.
Angela had reason to worry. While things seemed to be going great for Alyssa and Jory, Angela knows that wasn't always the case.
When I first met Jory, he seemed fine. He was polite. He was working and was nice to her.
They started dating, and they started living together over at my parents'. But then after a couple of months, I began to realize that their relationship wasn't what it was made out to be. Something wasn't right. I began to hear Jory get really loud, Alyssa saying stop or don't, and you would eventually hear something fall or break. Well, then it led up to a night where, out of nowhere, snaps. Turns around and he's on top of her. So that was the first time I seen it with my own eyes, that he was abusive.
Over the following months, the abuse escalated to the point where Alyssa called police.
At that time, she was working at the hospital in Camden. Alyssa told me Jory had been texting her, complaining that she needed to go get Braden. When Jory got there to pick her up from work, before she could even get in the car, he grabbed her by her shirt and pulled her into the car. And Jory was screaming and hollering and threatening to take her down a road and slit his own throat. I've never seen her that scared, ever.
Alyssa separated from Jory and filed an order of protection against him. But 8 months later, they were back together again.
In February, Alyssa told me that they had gotten engaged and were planning on getting married.
Alyssa said that he had changed and he wanted to be with her. Everyone, thought they were doing good and were pretty happy. And, we all kind of believed it.
But now, with Alyssa, Braden, and Jory all missing, Angela Cannon can't help but worry.
Monday evening, I went by her house twice and the car wasn't there. She had said Jory's dad picked them up, and if he had picked them up, then her car would have been there. And I thought that was kind of weird.
We called surrounding hospitals of Texarkana, hotels, motels, never found anything with their names on any of the books or as a patient. At that moment, we got worried.
Angela immediately drives to Jory's father's home to see if Alyssa, Jory, and Braden are still there.
Jory's dad's wife answered the door, and she said Jory's dad hadn't been anywhere that weekend at all, and he was actually there and had been home sick.
What's worse, they hadn't seen or spoken to Jory that week, and they had no idea where he could be.
I was really, really scared. It made me sick to my stomach, not knowing where they were.
On June 25th, just before 5 p.m., Angela heads to the Camden Police Department to report Alyssa and Braden missing.
Your daughter and your grandson are missing. And Jory is her boyfriend or husband?
We learned from Angela that Jory Worthen was Alyssa's boyfriend, and that's who she was last seen with. And Jory had some relationship issues, including Jory being previously arrested due to an incident. A mother and a son not seen for 2 days was very unusual. The fact that they had a previous domestic altercation, I thought this needed immediate attention.
All units, be on the lookout. Alyssa Cannon and her 4-year-old son, last known to be with a Jory Worthen.
Officers are immediately dispatched to Alyssa's home.
I was out patrolling doing detective duties when I was notified by the police department that I needed to go to the house and check on this woman and child. When I got there, it did appear that it was just locked up, but no one was home. Then the detective, he comes around and says, I can partially open the back window back here. So I said, well, let's open it the best we can and take a look inside. So we get the window about 3 or 4 inches open and move the curtain.
When police pull back the curtain, their worst fears are realized.
I just saw her. Looked like she was laying face down.
We immediately kicked in the back door to make sure that, you know, we could give them medical attention or whatever we needed to do. It was a worst case scenario. We find Miss Cannon deceased on the floor and a small child, Braden, deceased in the bed beside her. As we were processing the crime scene, we started finding clues and evidence that it appeared that Jory had committed this crime. Our biggest concern was trying to locate Mr. Jory Worthen.
Have you seen Jory Worthen? If you have, please text or call our hotline. We promise you'll remain anonymous.
2 for 6.
Angela, don't panic. Those are actors. That was not actual body cam at the end. Those are actors they're using. They stopped the actual body cam footage when they kicked in the door. No, Sonia, I haven't gotten him yet. I don't know that I'll ever get him. It's going to take something like this to get him into custody. So you guys say a prayer and cross your fingers that this helps and gets the results we need. You're welcome. Guys, make sure you're sharing this. We got to get it out. Everybody, anywhere that has a television or a Facebook needs to see it. I know, Angela. I know you can't. But we have to for them. Y'all share, 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 please.
At McCormick, we're obsessed with flavor. It's why we partner with sustainable farmers to find the finest herbs and spices and blend perfectly balanced seasonings. But you don't need to know all that.
Sonia, not anything 100% confirmed other than a sighting in Houma, Louisiana. There are some alleged sightings down here. I don't know. He could be anywhere. Yes, Daniela, we are looking for him. The U.S. Marshals are looking for him. Camden Police Department is looking for him. Hey, Justin. So you guys help me out and share this video, please. Let's make sure everybody that has access to social media and television see this. If you missed the first part, I'm going to download it once I'm done with it, and I'll download it onto our YouTube channel, and it'll be on my Facebook. He's pretty damn sneaky, Katie, I got to tell you. So far, he's been extremely sneaky. I wish we could bring him back to you, Angela. I really do. But we're going to get justice for them. And yes, Katie, someone's definitely helping him. He sure did, Angela. He fooled everybody. Please share, 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 share. We should be back up in about 30 seconds. I don't know if Detective Moore is watching, but if she is, listen, I just want to say thank you. She's been amazing. She's very, very, very vested in this case. Thank you, Cassidy. Here we go.
Now it's time for one of the most powerful weapons in our arsenal, what I like to call 15 seconds of shame. Ricardo Colindres is wanted in connection with the 2016 attempted murder of his pregnant ex-girlfriend in Pacifica, California. He's considered armed and dangerous. If you've seen Ricardo Colindres, please text or call us. 3 days after 20-year-old Alyssa Cannon and her 4-year-old son Braden disappeared, police discovered their bodies at her home in Camden, Arkansas. And Alyssa's fiance, Jory Worthen, is nowhere to be found.
Okay, I think they have all the information.
I received a telephone call while I was sitting with the family. One of the officers on scene told me that they were found deceased. Sorry, y'all.
Very vested.
That was one of the hardest things I had to do. Having to tell them that their loved one has died.
I couldn't wrap my mind around it. I didn't want to believe it. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I mean, it's one thing what he did to Alyssa, but Braden was the baby.
Back at the crime scene, detectives began to piece together what happened in Alyssa's home.
First bedroom, Alyssa's bedroom. It was a lot of blood. There was a lot of blood on the walls, blood on the floor, out in the hallway. In the bedroom adjacent to Alyssa's, it was Braden's bedroom. And that's where their bodies were discovered. When I seen those two laying there, I seen a crime of rage.
According to the medical examiner, Miss Cannon died from strangulation and beating, and Braden died from repeated hits to his head.
There you go,
The
Angela.
coroner estimated that they had been deceased for 2 days.
And when detectives look back at Jory Worthen's records, one incident in particular stands out.
On October the 12th, 2017, the Camden Police Department received a report from Miss Cannon. Mr. Worthen was upset that his phone was broke, and he pulled her from work, drug her into her car, threatened to kill her, and then took her and made her go inside the store to purchase him a phone. He threatened severe violence to her, and he had also struck her a couple of times.
I read the affidavit that Alyssa completed to obtain an order of protection. In her own handwriting, she had mentioned Jory threatening to kill her and also to kill himself. Once we put two and two together, it wasn't a case of who done it. It was, we need to find Jory Worthen.
Amen.
And good evening. We're going to begin tonight in South Arkansas, where the bodies of a mother and her young son were found today. Police suspect they were murdered.
Take a look at your screen. Police are searching for this man, Jory Worthen.
On June 25th, authorities launch a massive manhunt for Jory Worthen.
Investigators believe he may be driving Alyssa's 2007 white Honda Accord with the Arkansas license plate 9.
Jory had not returned to work. His father had not heard from him. No one had seen him.
I looked into Jory's financial background. No withdrawals or deposits had been made since June 25th.
He had a 2-day head start, and we had no idea where he would have went.
The news of this double homicide completely shocked the city of Camden. It worries people, Jory not being located.
I was notified by Captain Boss with the Camden Police Department that they had a double homicide, and initially I thought we might find him within a couple of weeks, primarily due to his age, access to social media and cell phones. I figured that he would reach out, look for some assistance, inquire about some help, but he hadn't left his footprint at all. We did try to track the car using license plate readers in other states, and we didn't have any luck at all.
I tried that, didn't work.
With Jory avoiding phones, internet, and banking, he became a virtual ghost.
We had tips from Louisiana, Texas, Kansas, Ohio, but none of them panned out directly in locating Jory.
While authorities believe Worthen fled right after the murders, on July 22nd, police receive a surprising tip.
Montez Sergeant Executive Woods.
We learned that someone may have been helping Jory Worthen.
Well, Montez, I'm investigating a homicide. And somewhere along the way, your name has come up in it.
A homicide?
Yes. You know what that is, right?
Have you seen Jory Worthen? If you have, please text or call our hotline, and we guarantee you will remain anonymous.
At Outback, steak and lobster is back. Oh no, it's gone.
I hope they'll continue to tell the story with Montez. Yeah, and Montez, just so you guys know, sat in jail for 7 months, and while I was in Camden, he pled out to hindering an apprehension and giving false statements to law enforcement. Got a slap on the hand, basically 5 years probation under the First Offenders Act. So he walked, and he helped him. I know I hate commercials. I'm sorry, Craig. I'm assuming, Angela, the body cam footage is the new info. They did officially release the cause of death, which they have never done before. Strangulation on Alyssa and blunt force trauma on Braden. Guys, y'all share for me, please. Share, 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 and then share again. It's so important. Yeah, it is, Angela. I was absolutely amazed sitting with you in the courtroom that day and watching him walk with nothing but a slap on the hand. I don't know, Angela. It's probably something we'll never understand. Yeah, I know. He can't hide forever. I mean, he's either being hit or he killed himself. In the end, he will get his... Law enforcement does not believe he has killed himself. According to the police chief, Bo Woody, and Detective Moore, they do not believe he is dead. And they are adamant about that. You're welcome, Tammy. Yeah, it makes me sick to my stomach, too. I'm just glad I was there with you, Angela. I'm glad I was there. No, I don't believe he's dead either. He's just really damn good at hiding. The best I've seen yet. Amen, Gina, I agree. It's okay, Angela, I understand. Me too, Nikki. I just wanted to go live because a lot of people don't have cable. There are reports that he was spotted in Sylvester, Georgia. They're not 100% confirmed due to some things that came out after. And the video was super bad. So I don't know whether to tell you it was him or not. At the time, we were very sure it was him. He could be anywhere. Hey, Tim. Here we go, guys.
On every episode of In Pursuit, we're going to tell you about some missing children that we really need your help to find and bring home to their families. Here's the first case. Serenity Denard ran away from a children's home near Rockerville, South Dakota on February 3rd, 2019. Authorities fear the worst given the frigid weather in the area when she disappeared, but she may have been picked up by someone. At the time, Serenity was just 9 years old, 4 feet 7 inches tall, and weighed 96 pounds. If you have any information about Serenity Denard, please text or call us right now. 1 month after the brutal murders of Alyssa Cannon and her son Braden, police in Camden, Arkansas get their first solid lead in the case.
I know what's going on.
And what's that, Montez?
Suspected killer Jory Worthen reached out to a friend for help just days after the murder.
Jory called you?
Yes, ma'am.
On July the 22nd, we received a tip from someone possibly helping Jory.
Montez tells police that he met Jory at a location in the woods just outside of Camden.
He was by himself. He was in the woods. He had like a tennis. I promise you, if I take you to him.
Oh, he did?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It hasn't been like he was living there.
Montez Woods led us to believe that, Jory was still here approximately 4 days after the crimes had occurred. The information that he provided says that he had contact with him on June the 22nd, approximately 4 days after the homicides, and he was still in the area.
But when investigators follow up on the lead, Jory is long gone.
Camden police did conduct an aerial search over the vicinity, and they didn't locate anything. It turned out to be just probably a one-time thing where he met with Jory, provided him some funds from a stolen generator, and that's all the contact that he's had with Jory since he saw him.
Authorities charge Montez Xavier Woods with hindering the apprehension and prosecution of Jory Worthen in the days following the murders. The lead is a dead end, but within days of Montez's arrest, Camden police receive another tip, and this one turns up hard evidence as to where Worthen may have gone.
On July 22nd, in the early morning hours, Alyssa Cannon's vehicle, the white 2007 Honda Accord, was located unlicensed and abandoned in a Burger King parking lot in Seattle, Washington.
The Seattle police immediately assisted in searching the area around the car and the neighborhoods to see if they could locate Mr. Worthen.
But the search comes up empty. Now, police want to know how Alyssa's car got there.
There are a couple different scenarios on how the vehicle ended up in Seattle. Honestly, the first one is Jory Worthen drove the car there.
Negative.
And he has somebody in Seattle helping him. Or somebody else drove the car up there, maybe to throw off law enforcement. And he could be completely in another geographical area. But we're certainly not putting it on the back burner. We're actively investigating and looking into Jory Worthen every single day.
I'm not giving up. There's nothing more than I want in my entire career than to find Jory Worthen.
Amen, Detective Moore.
He can't stay hidden forever.
We want justice for Alyssa and Braden. They deserve it. I can't explain how much I miss them.
I never imagined it would be the last time I seen either one of them. I never imagined that Alyssa and Braden would be gone before me.
Now, this case really hits close to home for me. My 6-year-old son Adam was kidnapped and murdered in 1981. And I can tell you firsthand, you never get over these wounds. Now, this guy, Jory Worthen, has been on the run since June 2019. Authorities believe he may be hiding in the Pacific
Good question,
Northwest,
Tammy. We don't
Alaska,
know.
or Canada. He also has ties to Texas. Worthen has several large and distinctive tattoos, including one on his right forearm, reading Matthew 7:6, and a skull with wings on his chest. He's an avid outdoorsman, likes to drink beer, listen to heavy metal and rap music. He's about 6'2" and around 160 pounds. Now, anyone who can beat a 4-year-old little boy to death has crossed an uncrossable line. This guy's a danger to everyone and is capable of anything. If you think you've seen Jory Worthen, please do the right thing. Pick up that phone, call me, or text me, and I guarantee you can remain anonymous. I've walked in this family's shoes. I had to wait 27 painful years to find out who killed my son. This lowlife devastated this family, and we owe it to them to take this coward off the street.
Amen.
Now, our next story takes us to a close-knit community in Michigan.
All right, guys, that's it. I wanted to make sure Angela could see it. Thank you all so much for watching. Please, if there's 242 people on here right now, if each one of you hit the share button, it would really, really help. Let's help bring justice for Alyssa and Braden and for Miss Angela and her family. I love you, Miss Angela. I'll talk to you tomorrow.